On this computer. Okay, we are recording. Hello, everybody. Welcome to those that are watching the rerun. Welcome to the recording of our skinny jeans and sweaters kickoff call. So we are jumping on live. We're going to do some question and answers, and we're going to really just dive into the details of this group, kind of prep stuff, and kind of go from there. So I just asked these guys before I hit record, which I totally forgot to hit record, to give me a thumbs up, thumbs sideways, or thumbs down on how they're feeling. Thumbs up if you're excited, thumbs sideways if you're like, I'm totally nervous, thumbs down if you're like, I'm terrified of this. I know when I did my first challenge, so if this is your guys' first challenge, I was like totally terrified. I had no idea what to expect. We didn't do a kickoff call like this. I had no idea. They told me, take 15 minutes and put together a meal plan. And it took me over 2 hours to put together a 21-day fix meal plan, you guys. So I'm hoping by doing things like this can make it a little more simple for you. It can simplify the process. You're going to see in the file section of our group, you're going to notice that I'm going to be putting up some meal plans, some templates, some different things for you guys to utilize. There's going to be recipes found in there. Kind of like almost like a one-stop shop as far as like what you'll actually need for your meal planning. And then you guys kind of get to take it, and it's nice because you get to do whatever you want with it in terms of what you're eating can be according to your preferences. So it's not exactly like a strict guideline. But if you look at a meal plan and you're like, okay, that looks pretty good, I should just do that. Just do it. Make it easy for yourself. If they're there, use them, use those recipes. Don't worry about it. Don't feel like you have to recreate the wheel, especially this first week if you're like totally new to meal planning. So we will chat a little bit about that tonight, and then we'll just kind of move through and I'll answer any questions. And like I said, I'm going to try keeping this under a half hour. So we will just run right along. Sorry, and I kind of take notes as I go, so I want to make sure I'm chatting about everything. Okay, so first off, we're going to talk about how the group works. Essentially, you guys are in a revolving group. So this means that you are in a group that it starts and it stops. We kind of take a little break and then we start again and we jump back in. Now, this does not mean that you have to jump into every single one of these challenges, but if you have goals to meet, you should be jumping in and keep going with us every single time. What you can expect from me and seeing daily in the group is you're going to see some type of educational post, some type of motivation, inspirational. Sometimes I go live, depends on what's going on in the day, what I feel like maybe the group is needing at that moment. You're going to see some type of post from me generally in the morning. And then we do a check-in every night. So we check in. They're going to be pretty simple. It's going to be check-ins like, hey, what did you eat? How much water did you drink? Was it a good day? Was it a bad day? I ask random questions sometimes, just a little check-in, just every night to go, okay, hey, I'm still in this. I'm still focused. I'm still working towards my goals. The biggest thing with check-ins, you guys, is all I want out of you is honesty. So if you have a crappy day, tell me you had a crappy day. If you had a bomb day and you're like, I kicked butt, we want to hear that. We want to celebrate you. And if you have those days that are not so good, we want to say it's okay and let's start again the next day. And we want to see you jumping back into the group and seeing a good day the next day, okay? So we never expect perfection with these groups. I just expect participation. And speaking of that, we do have participation points. So there's going to be prizes given out. We kind of just do these little mini challenges kind of throughout the group. And then there's a kind of a bigger prize for like the most participation, which Melissa was actually our participation queen this last round. And she also had the biggest results, you guys. Like it kind of goes hand in hand. I see all the time that the people with the biggest results towards their goal, and this can either be a goal of, hey, I wanted to lose 2% body fat, or I wanted to lose 10 pounds, or I wanted to gain 5 pounds of muscle. Whatever the goal is, we look at the percentages, and Melissa's our winner. She also participated the most. Those go hand in hand, you guys. People that participate the most generally get closer to their goals. So keep that in mind. Now, I don't want you to live in this group. I don't want you to be like, oh my gosh, I have to check into everything and respond to everything. Don't feel that way, but be a cheerleader for your co-challengers. I mean, jump into this going, okay, I'm going to cheer this person on. You're going to be assigned an accountability partner, and that gets to be like your person that you get to be like, they're posting, I'm commenting on their post. They're posting, I'm liking it. I'm saying, you can do this. They're having a bad day. You're there to go, let's do this. Come on, let's like pull it together. And you get to be that extra cheerleader. So every night we'll do the check-in. The other part of our group, you guys, is going to be the My Challenge Tracker app. Now I'm going to ask everybody to download the My Challenge Tracker app. If you have not yet, download this to either your smartphone or your tablet. And this is going to be an area, I'd like to compare it to probably something like MyFitnessPal, kind of like you can see your progress, or you can kind of track what you're doing on there. So on the My Challenge tracker, you're going to notice that there's going to be posts. It's kind of like its own little Facebook app, so to speak, but you can track your workouts on there. You can track your Shakeology on there. You can post pictures if you want. You can do videos in it. I mean, you really can kind of do whatever you want within the group. You're going to see some posts come from me within that group, but most of the stuff as far as me going live and everything is going to be within the Facebook group, but you're going to have both options. That being said, every day I do want you, when you open up the My Challenge Tracker app, if you're new to this, you're going to see an invite from me. Actually, all of you should see an invite to this specific group. It's going to be Skinny Jeans and Sweaters. It's going to say, Sindel Glenn has invited you to this challenge group. You're going to log into that. You're going to go through the motions that it asks you to do. It's going to ask you to set your goals. It's going to say, what is your starting weight? It's going to ask you about starting measurements. It's going to ask you about starting pictures. All of those wonderful things. I want you to log into there, put all that information in, and then every day you're going to go into it. And you can set it to set you like a reminder alarm. And I have mine set to go like I want to say it goes off at like 9 p.m. at night. So every night at 9 p.m., if I haven't logged in and charted or tracked, like if I did my workout that day or if I did my Shakeology, it sends me a reminder to do that. So every night you can log into that, do that, or right after you do your workout or whenever it is that you want to do it, go ahead and do that. And this is actually where I'm going to track a lot of participation. Now, because this is very individual, you guys, and I really want to make sure that I'm capturing everybody's individual goals with this, is you guys are going to see every week I'm going to be posting kind of a form or like a little image that has everybody's name on it, and it's going to have a tally track of where you're at with your goals. So if your goal is, I want to work out 7 days a week, it's going to say, hey, she logged that she worked out 7 out of 7 days a week. If your goal is to work out 5 days a week, it's going to say, hey, this girl tracked 5 out of 5 days this week, or maybe she tracked 6 out of the 5 days that she overachieved. She went beyond her goal. It's going to be a way that we can actually celebrate those individual goals without making people feel bad, because not everybody has to work out and not everybody's goal is to work out every day. Does that make sense to you guys? I get some head nods if that's making sense, because this is something that I kind of haven't done in the past. This is something totally new, because it's kind of always been like, okay, who tracked, everything and every day, when that's not always everybody's goals. So I want to be making sure that I'm capturing everybody's individual goals with this. And if you guys obviously have suggestions, I mean, there is room for improvement in all areas. So please let me know your feedback if you feel like this is something we need to improve on or look at, or if you have a better idea, because I'm just kind of rolling with this new plan this time. Okay, so does everybody are we clear on the My Challenge Tracker app? So you're going to be doing 2 different things. We'll have the Facebook group, but we'll also have the My Challenge Tracker app. So we'll have both those things going at once. I'm going to be tracking participation. I'm also going to be tracking your participation on nightly check-ins. So those are important too. And we'll have a little thing on there, right? Like I said, everybody's name will go on this image, and you'll see 7 out of 7 for nightly check-ins, or 3 out of 7, or whatever it is you do. So on to the next part. We're going to talk about Shakeology, because I know a lot of you guys are utilizing the shakes with this, with your program, which you guys know me, I'm a diehard Shakeology drinker, which I have my wonderful shake right here because I did not get to drink it this morning. Shakeology is one of those things, you guys, that it's not instantaneous. A lot of people want to try something and they're like, oh, I should automatically feel like, oh my goodness, I feel amazing. And for some people it is, but the majority of people it's not. It is actually formulated to help your gut health. It's supposed to help your gut flora get back to its normal state. It's supposed to help with the propagation of the good bacteria that we need to digest our actual good food and absorb those good nutrients and everything. So for a lot of people, you guys, this takes a full month before it actually functions fully in your system on how it's supposed to actually function. That being said, some of you might not love it right away. I really know I didn't love it because I didn't know how to mix it. And that's how a lot of people are. It's kind of almost trial and error of how it's perfect for you. And you kind of end up finding your perfect blend. Now, for me personally, my wonderful shake that I have right here, I can whip it together in literally 60 seconds. I throw half a banana in. I throw about a cup of ice, a cup of water, blend it with chocolate Shakeology, and I'm done. That's my jam. That's what I do almost every single day. Sometimes I'll throw a little peanut butter in there. Sometimes I'll throw raspberries in instead of a banana. to switch it up. But for the most part, I like the same thing every day, almost all the time, but not everybody likes that. But it's a versatile drink where you can do lots of different things. Some people actually prefer to throw it in a shaker cup and shake it up. I prefer mine blended. The first 2 months though that I did utilize Shakeology, I threw it in a shaker cup and shook it. Like I was like, fine, well, I'll do it this way. And I'm not gonna lie, it's because I didn't want to get out the blender and wash it. Like, I mean, seriously, who likes dishes? I hate dishes. I have 4 kids. I do a lot of dishes already. And it's a pain in the butt. But I didn't want to get out the blender and actually blend it. And then the first time I did, I was like, whoa, this is amazing. Part of it is because there's no emulsifiers in Shakeology. So when you throw it in a blender, it actually will distribute everything very evenly. I mean, you can throw it in a shaker cup and it'll shake up okay, but you really have to shake that sucker in comparison to a different shake. We'll go with Herbalife, for example. Herbalife has emulsifiers in it, and I think it works. Like if you look at a lot of them, they have these emulsifiers in them, which makes the consistency of the shake actually smooth, and that like gives them that good texture. Shakeology doesn't have that, so when you blend it, it gives it that texture. Does that make sense? Am I talking clearly to you guys? Okay, so that's part of it. So give it a fair shot, okay? You definitely want to utilize this, and also it can cause a little bit of digestive, what we would like to think are issues, but they're technically not issues. It's going to do a little bit of a number on your digestive tract initially. So some people do experience things like they might have a little bit more diarrhea right away. If you do experience that, I always encourage people to go to half a scoop instead of a full scoop. Part of it is you're getting probiotics, you're getting prebiotics in there, you're getting extra fiber. A lot of things are new to people's system, especially depending on what your diet was like before. So if you experience that, go to half a scoop instead of a full scoop, and then go up to 3/4 a scoop to a full scoop until you like can eventually do the full scoop. But kind of just gauge where it is for you. Some people do not experience that at all. For me, I noticed a huge difference after a full month. But I also am one of you guys that I was chronically constipated since I was little. Like, didn't even realize that that actually was a thing. I think I kind of refused to acknowledge that that's how my body was. And that I was chronically constipated since I was little. I remember my parents talking about when they started me on food, how I got constipated right away. And my daughter, sadly, is the exact same way I was. As soon as we started her on food, she started getting constipated. And it wasn't until I started drinking Shakeology daily, and she now drinks Shakeology almost every single day, that we actually started functioning the way a human's supposed to function and excreting the way a human is supposed to excrete, which might be a little bit too much information for you guys, but I'm also a nurse, so sometimes we just talk a little bit too gross and whatever, and I don't really care. But you guys, if things aren't moving through us, there's an issue. And if that stuff is stuck in us, there's going to be bloating, there's going to be weight gain, there's going to be inflammation. And we want to get rid of that. And that's what Shakeology is designed to do, is to help push all that stuff out that is not needed in our digestive tract so we can get back to that normal state. So that's kind of the spiel on Shakeology. Does anybody have questions on that section so far? Okay, so the other thing that we're going to be doing, like I said, you're going to be logging your workouts on the My Challenge Tracker app. Now, these workouts, you guys, a lot of you guys are going to be following actual Beachbody programs. Some of you, depending on where you're at in your health and what's going on with you physically and whatever, you might be doing something different. I know there's a couple people that are running marathons, so they're doing some running training and different things along those lines. But for the most part, most of us are following a Beachbody program. That being said, you want to follow their programs to a T, you guys. These are set up very scientifically, so they have rest days when appropriate rest days need to be taken. They encourage you, they have that different muscle confusion, so it's not like you're just working your lower body, you're just working your upper body. They have a good balance in all the things. So when you are jumping into a program, make sure you're following it each day. Okay. Now, if you miss a program, if the day goes crazy and you're like, oh my gosh, I missed my workout, then your goal is to do a double the next day. Try to do that double, you guys. If you miss another one, you don't want to do 3 in a row. I mean, nobody wants to work out for an hour and a half, you guys. That's why we jumped into doing something that we can do a half-hour workout in that's effective, right? So it's one thing if you miss one workout and you do a double and you do an hour's worth of working out the next day. Don't skip 2 days in a row, okay? Just try your best not to, and don't overwhelm yourself with that. I mean, just try your best to get them in. And if you absolutely can't, try to do something else that's going to be just getting your heart pumping for that 20 to 30 minutes. If you decide you're doing running, please log those in the To My Challenge Tracker app. You're just going to type it in that, hey, I went for a run this day. If you did a class at Rachel, I know you're going to be going to the YMCA. If you did a class there, type that in there, log those workouts, those count. I know I had a couple gals that were like, I don't think I can do the challenge groups because I'm doing X, Y, or Z. And I'm like, but we're following your nutrition. Your nutrition's where you want to do this. And, that's where we're concentrating on their goals, but they're doing other things. And you guys, you don't have to be following an exact program, but if you're going to, you're going to get the best results as far as making sure you're following to the T, mostly because of how it's set up and how those days are. Does that all make sense to you guys? Okay. But either way, please log those workouts, no matter what the workout was that day, please log them. Okay, so a lot of us are going to be utilizing Beachbody On Demand, which I'm obsessed with. I absolutely love it. I'm going to share my screen with you guys here really quick. Sorry, I'm going to downsize you for just a moment. I'm going to bring up my Beachbody On Demand, and then I'm going to share my screen with you all. If it'll let me, it's not giving me the option to share screen. Okay, can everybody see my desktop? Getting a couple nods? Okay, perfect. Move you guys over. Okay, so this is Beachbody On Demand. So for those of you that are, new to this and you're jumping in, as soon as you get your package in the mail, I obviously want you opening your package and getting your Shakeology out and reading about it and doing all those things. But the majority of you guys are utilizing Beachbody On Demand, meaning that you can access your workout programs like right now, like tonight. After we get off this call, if you want to go do a workout, you can go do a workout. Like, it's awesome. So it's usually within 24 hours of purchasing the Beachbody On Demand, either challenge pack or the program or whatever it is you're doing, you should have access to this. And this is a lot of fun, you guys. What I love about Beachbody On Demand is that you are getting access to over $7,000 worth of programs if you were to buy these all individually, which is just insane. And you get all these other programs. They're constantly adding new things to it. And you get to go from, if you're doing like, say, 21-day fix, you get to go, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to complete it. And if you complete it, we can move you on to a different workout, a different thing. And then we can see, what one's your favorite? What can you do? And you have a huge array right in front of you, just at your fingertips. So as you can see, if you scroll through it, like, you guys, there's so many programs on here. It's crazy. But we're going to go into, because a lot of you guys are doing the 21-day fix. We're just going to click into 21-day fix. And you guys, everything you need is right here. So all of your workouts are right here under the workout list. And then you have your program materials. So if you have not jumped into Beachbody On Demand, this is where I want you to go. I want you to go into your program. Anybody that's new on this group, I think there's just a couple of you that have not done a one-on-one call with me where we set up our goals and whatnot. And please know, veterans too that are in this group, if you guys need to set up a one-on-one call with me, just let me know. We will set up a one-on-one and we will chat your goals and like how we can get you to it and see if maybe it's your program, whatever it is. If you have questions, please let me know and we can definitely do that. All right, but if you're new to this, new to Beachbody On Demand, you're gonna hit your program materials. You're gonna go to your start here. Every program has some type of start here or getting started guide. And then you're just going to go through your workout calendar. I want you to open up your workout calendar. I want you to have a good idea of how long each of your workouts are, where they're going to be at as far as, how busy your schedule is. Are you going to have some crazy busy days? Just know that, okay, I'm going to have a half-hour time allotted to this workout. Or maybe that workout today, say you're doing PIO, for example, a couple of the PIO workouts are like 40 minutes long. Know that you're going to need that additional 10 minutes in addition to, that half hour that maybe you've been used to. This goes through your portion control tally sheets. All of this stuff is right here. Now, a lot of us, even if you're not doing the 21-day fix program, you will be using the 21-day fix portion control guide and the meal planning guide. All of that stuff is, it's right here under your nutrition. And I'm not going to go through all the details of here. I want you to open this up and go through this. And now I'm going to stop share. So that is all right there, you guys. It's really nice. It's very convenient. Please download the app on your phone or on your tablet, whatever it is. If you're going to be traveling a lot, you can actually download your workout programs to your devices. So if you are gone and you're like, darn it, I have no internet connection, I can't do my workouts. No, yes, you can. You can totally do your workouts. You can download them on your device and actually take them right with you. So that's really, really nice. I think they let you download up to like 7 workouts or something like that. Now, obviously, you can fit it in a workout in a different way or something along those lines. That's totally cool. But if you're like, hey, I want to follow 21 Day Fix to a T, then you need to download those workouts. Where did I want to go from here? Does anybody have questions for me so far? Everybody seems pretty straightforward. No questions. Now, when we talk about goals and whatnot, now I know I've talked to you guys, a few of you already this week about this. I always say, 5 pounds per challenge is a very good goal if you're looking for weight loss. Now, it kind of gets a little trickier once you guys are looking for, once you kind of gotten to that, like, your goal as far as like, hey, this is how much weight I wanted to lose. Now I'm looking to gain muscle. If that's the point you're at, definitely reach out to me, because there's different programs that I would recommend for you, depending on your body type and how your body reacts. If you're looking for muscle gain, what else? I think that's about all I was going to chat with you guys about as far as like the Beachbody on Demand and the Shakeology portion. So we're going to jump into meal planning portion now. Kind of a show of hands here that's with me tonight. How many of you guys have done meal planning before? I know some of you guys, this is not your first round. So I know, yes, you have. Awesome. If you are new to meal planning, you guys, like it is something that it's sometimes really easy, but it is really, really easy not to do too. Okay. So, I mean, you can put together meal plans, you can put this stuff together, but the whole point of like the portion control containers and the actual meal planning that goes with something like 21 Day Fix is getting the right balance. And by saying balance, it means that you're having the proper ratio of your fats, your carbs, and your proteins. Those are your macronutrients. Now, macronutrients are really important because we need them to survive, but we also need your micronutrients, and that's where you're bringing your Shakeology in. Your Shakeology is going to have all the micronutrients, your vitamins, your minerals, your digestive enzymes, your phytonutrients, all those different things that help our bodies really function essentially the way they're supposed to. Your Shakeology is going to have that in there. So it's really nice that you can have that little added part, but the portion control containers, and you're obviously getting other things through your good nutrition as well, not just your macronutrients, but they're going to show you basically how to balance out each of those different categories. And depending on how your body is, and those that are doing this for maybe your 3rd or 4th round and you're getting towards those goals and you're maybe not seeing his results as quick, let's do a one-on-one. So please feel free to reach out to me and we'll see if we need to do any adjustments in your macronutrients to get you a little closer to the goals a little quicker. But for those that are jumping into this new, follow those containers, you guys. I know that's where I had my biggest results when I did my first couple rounds of 21 Day Fix was I followed those containers to a T. And Melissa, I'm seeing you nod your head. You're like, I am following those containers to a T. I mean, truly, like that's where it is. And it's not very hard. But like I said, it's really easy not to do it and to kind of fall off and get overwhelmed. So what I'm going to show you guys now, like I said, I'm not going to go through all the details of the exact nutrition plan, but I'm going to show you guys the 21 Day Fix stuff and kind of give you an example of how I break things down. And I hope this makes sense. If it does not, please let me know. Because sometimes I explain it really well, sometimes, and then sometimes I don't. So I'm going to share my screen again with you guys. Oh, okay, so everybody sees the 21 Day Fix stuff again. All right, so we are going to go to the eating plan. And you can see this is a PDF version of like the little booklet that you get. Or I guess if you did your challenge pack this way, you won't actually have this like physical copy, but if you were to order just the 21 Day Fix alone, you would get the physical copy of the little booklet. But it talks about how it works, goes through, so you get these different coded containers, okay? And this is the definition of each of the things. So green's your veggies, purple's your fruits, red's your proteins, yellow's your carbs, blue are your healthy fats, and then you have your seeds and dressings are your orange containers. Now, you guys, these containers are going to show up at your door and you're going to go, oh my gosh, they're so cute and they're so little. I'm going to starve. Like, I think that's what goes through everybody's mind when they show up. But then you put these suckers out on a plate and you're like, whoa, this is actually a lot of food. And it really is. I think sometimes we lose what that visual is of what an actual serving size should be. And these take that away. It also takes away the calorie counting. We're not counting calories with this system. Okay, so then you're going to figure out exactly where you fall into as far as what bracket or what plan you're going to follow for the 21-day fix. So you're going to put in your weight. You're going to figure out your caloric baseline by, timesing that by 11. It's going to give you your caloric baseline. Then you're going to add 400 for that fixed calorie burn, the number of calories that we should all be burning each day just by digesting and our heart pumping and normal muscle activity and all those type of things. And then you're going to do a calorie deficit where you're going to subtract 750 from that. So you're going to kind of do this little math equation through. Now, there are some things I always like to mention. If you are breastfeeding, I do not recommend taking that 750 into for your caloric intake. I recommend only subtracting 250. Now, this depends on where you're at in your breastfeeding journey. If you are a newer mom where you're breastfeeding exclusively and very frequently, it's a little different than if you're breastfeeding a 1-year-old who is maybe only nursing once, twice, 3 times a day and is getting more of their nutritional value from food. I mean, there's going to be a little bit of a deficit there. So if you are a breastfeeding mom, we've probably already chatted about this, but if we haven't, let's chat about what exactly you should be using for that caloric deficit to help you get to your goals. Okay, so then you're going to figure out where you fall. So according to whatever this last number is here, your calorie target, you're going to fall into your plan A, B, C, or D. Now, for example, for me, I fall into plan A currently. So I have 3 greens. Oh, sorry, I'm going to write these out here. 2 of my purples. Reds are 4. I should have these memorized, honestly. I kind of do. Yellows are 2. Blues are 1. And seeds are 1. Okay, so when I'm doing my meal plan, I'm going to stop my screen share here again. When I'm doing my meal plans and I'm following the 21-day fix to a T, I will write out at the top of my sheet what my containers are. And then I make a very messy hand copy of what I'm going to be eating those days. And I cross them off according to what I'm doing. So, and I always like to start with my bigger meals that I'm probably going to have with my family or whatever. This has just made it easier for me when I'm deciding to do meal plans, if I'm including my family with all these. So I like to start with supper. I know, okay, how many calories or how many of these different things am I putting towards my supper? And then I'll go to my lunch and see how many containers are going to my lunch. Then I go to my breakfast, and normally my breakfast is my Shakeology, and that's the same thing every day, but sometimes I'll eat eggs with my kids if I'm wanting eggs or whatever it is. But I have to take those different things into account. And then I fill in with whatever I have remaining. Those are my snacks. I have no idea if that's making sense to you guys or not right now, but it will. I am going to bring up now in our group. Let me get to our Facebook group real quick. I'm going to share my screen with you guys again. So if you go into our group, it's going to look just like this. So here's our lovely Facebook group, guys. There's going to be a file section over here. Go ahead and click on the files. And then you're going to see all this stuff. So you have the contract in here, 21-day fix containers. If you guys have stuff that you want to add to these files, you can upload files to this. You can see here that Brittany uploaded her contract and whatnot. We're going to open up, though. I want to do this one. Pretty sure this is the one I want. Oh, no, that's not the one I want. Maybe it's this one. Sorry, I should have looked at, yes, this is the one I want. Okay, so you can see here with my little color coding things, on this sample meal plan, I decided we were gonna do chicken noodle soup that night. So I always start with my dinners, like I said. So my dinner is chicken noodle soup. This is what I'm counting my chicken. So you got 1 red container for my proteins for my chickens, 2 greens, because I add a lot of veggies to my chicken noodle soup. So this is homemade chicken noodle soup. And then I do 1 yellow for the noodles. We don't do very many noodles in our chicken noodle soup. Then I would go to my lunch, and I decided that, okay, I'm going to do the baked chicken over greens with blueberries, diced apples, quinoa, feta, and vinegar. I decided that's going to be my salad for the day. And then I write down, okay, what containers am I going to have and utilize for that meal? And then I go to my breakfast. What am I having for breakfast that day? I'm doing my Shakeology, my normal thing. And then after I have all of these tallied together, that left me with one red and one orange container left. And that's where I decide what my snacks are, you guys. This is how I do it. Now, you don't have to follow this exact pattern. This just works for me. I am kind of one that I like to know exactly what I'm doing ahead of time, even if it's not exactly the same every day. It's helpful for me. Does that make sense? And you guys can definitely look back through. So this exact like meal plan is in our file section. So you guys can look at this. And if you're like, okay, I want to do this one, if you want me to put down all of my recipes, I gladly will do that. A lot of these recipes are actually found in our file section. So you can look through those. A lot of them are actually from the 21-Day Fix cookbook. I absolutely love that cookbook. It's called Fixated, and you can actually order that via Beachbody. I love that cookbook. It's so simple. The recipes, I have not tried one recipe on there that's not a good recipe. My kids have liked all of them, but it works really, really well for me. Okay, so the other thing that I was going to mention about meal planning that you can do. Now, if you don't want to do it this way that I just showed you with like breaking down each different thing in every single day, because I know some days for you guys, it's not exactly the same. It's not predictable. You don't know what's going to go on, and you're kind of flying by the seat of your pants, which I encourage you not to do, but I know it's so hard. But if you are in that stage and you're like, okay, I know I'm going to be eating out, I have no idea exactly what my meals are going to look like, there's the 21-Day Fix app where you can actually tally your containers throughout the day. So in the morning, you open up your app, you eat your breakfast, and you're like, okay, I ate this, this, and this, and you can put your tally marks, and that'll actually track your stuff. So then by the end of the day, if you're like, okay, I have one green container left that I haven't eaten from, and you're hungry, you can have some carrots as a snack or something like that. You can fill that last container, and you can have an evening snack to fill it. Now, a lot of times, you guys, people will make comments like, this is so much food. Do I have to eat it all? No, you do not. You do not have to eat it all. We don't want you overstuffing yourself. But one thing I do warn against is don't be eating too far below your calories, because if you are, you're just going to slow your metabolism down. Now, obviously, you know your body best. And if you're like, whoa, I'm just overstuffing myself, just don't eat all that food. You don't have to. But always try to make sure you're getting in your veggies and your proteins. So your green containers and your red containers are kind of your two musts. Like definitely get those two things in, and then fill in with the other things if you feel like you're having too much food. Does that make sense, you guys? Okay, now do you guys have any specific questions on meal planning, where to start, what to do, like where are you guys at? No specific questions at all? Okay, I know I'm not that good of a teacher, guys, so you guys have to have some questions. That's kind of how I do my meal planning though, you guys. It's pretty simple. There's definitely other things we could jump into tonight. I'm going to be putting some posts out as far as the remainder of what the group is going to look like for prep week. You guys will be getting a form from me that you're going to fill out, and it's going to contain your weight is, your current height, what your goals are, your measurements. You're going to fill all of this out on a form that I think I'll be posting it tomorrow actually, and you will fill all that stuff out. There is a section that's a required part of taking pictures. I know nobody likes taking pictures, you guys. I know everybody dreads that part. Everybody's like, oh, I don't want to do this. I've had people, you guys, that have dropped out of challenge groups. I'm not even kidding, because of having to take a picture, because they really truly didn't want to do that. And I want to let you know, the reason that these are required is for you. This is not for my benefit. This is for your benefit. I honestly don't even look at these pictures, you guys, unless I'm doing a compare and contrast for somebody that's like, okay, I need to see that transformation. I will pull those pictures and look at them. This is truly for your basically your accountability and making sure you're doing it. And you guys, there is something about being unhappy with our bodies and not feeling good about them, and being able to see a picture and see that physical change from one to the other. It's huge, you guys. It is so big, and a picture really truly is worth 1,000 words. A lot of times you're going to see those huge changes so much more in a picture than what you're going to see on the scale. And you guys, I hate the scale. I really truly do. You probably are going to hear this throughout the entire challenge about how I think we should all throw them away. They should all be thrown out of our houses. Doctors' offices should be the only place that have scales. I hate scales. I really do. Your true results are going to come through seeing that visual picture, how you're fitting into your clothes, how you're feeling overall, the internal part, like that's the key part. But I know a lot of you guys want to have that physical transformation, and you will get there, but it's going to be your measurements that are going to be more accurate than the scale. Okay. So the other thing is, I always want people to weigh themselves at the beginning of the challenge and at the end, nothing in between. Okay. Now I know a lot of you guys do that. And then I know there's some that are like, I just had to see what happened. I'm not going to come to your house and be like, slap you on the hand, but no, I probably will send a virtual finger wag at you and be like, don't do that anymore. Okay. Stay away from the scale. It's not your friend. It's a good measuring tool in long terms, but it's not a great measuring tool short term. Okay. And the other thing is, you guys, our body's weight can actually fluctuate 5 pounds within a 12-hour period. Like, seriously, did you have a bowel movement? Are you like me, who's a pump or a breastfeeding mom? Have you fed your baby? Did you just drink a humongous 20-ounce thing of water? I mean, where are you at with? There's so many different things that can fluctuate our bodies that the scale really shouldn't matter. All right, Miley, you commented on the chat here. Do you have a cheat sheet to tell you where you are to measure on each part? Yes, I will be posting an image, and in the Beachbody On Demand too, on that, like those workout programs or the materials or whatever in that section, there's actually images on there as well. But I'll post kind of little like image, I guess is what it is. That'll show you where you go. When you are doing your measurements, when you do like your bicep, for example, you want to go at your thickest part. So like when you're flexed, take it at your thickest part when you're flexed. When you're doing your waist, I always tell people go at your natural waist, which most people it falls about the belly button line or so. Go at your natural waist. And then when you're doing your hips, go at your thickest part of your hips. When you're doing your thighs, make sure you're going at the same spot for your before and your afters. I always go right in the middle. So measure from your groin to the inside of your knee, kind of where that little bump sticks out, and then go halfway in between and take your measurements there. Whatever you do for your legs, make sure you're doing the exact same thing for your afters, because legs tend to be a huge difference if it's somebody if a lot of us lose a lot of more of that fat that's sitting on our legs quicker because we have bigger muscles that are utilizing that stuff a little bit faster. But our muscles also change a lot in our legs. And if you measure 2 inches below from where you measured the first time, that's going to be a huge difference. So just make sure you're doing it at the same places every time. That's going to be your biggest point as far as measurements go. Any other questions, Miley? That's a really great question. Thoughts? Anything else you guys wanted me to cover tonight that we're maybe not covering? All right. Okay. Well, I think we kept it kind of to a half hour-ish. Not really. All right. Thank you guys for jumping on with me. So I do have an Urban Halo that I'm obsessed with, you guys. I'm like literally obsessed with these Urban Halos. I have a lovely white one. So I am going to write down everybody's name that is on live with me. I'm knocking stuff over here. And Melissa, Rachel, Katie, Desiree, Miley, and Megan. All right, guys, I will do a drawing, and I am going to, we'll see real quick. Sorry, I'm gonna rip paper. This is how awesomely coordinated I've done everything. If I had a little assistant, I could have her like do this in the background for me, but I don't. She's sleeping right now. She usually likes doing this stuff where she gets to do all the drawings and everything, but I like to do these after she's in bed, and she doesn't always love that I do that. But any other things I can answer while I'm doing this, you guys? Miley, you were going to say, where's Liam? Yes. You guys can unmute yourselves too, by the way. Like, we don't have to stay muted now. Everybody can unmute themselves. I'm gonna do a drawing quick and then I will let you guys go. Who has used Urban Halos before? Melissa has. I love them, you guys. They don't give me headaches. I don't know about you. Do you guys have any other headbands you use that don't give you headaches? Has anybody found one that like is perfect for them? I have kind of found with short hair, it doesn't bother me as much to actually work out with it down. I don't know. Megan, have you noticed that yours is probably down most of the time, or do you usually pull yours back? I'm unmuting you so you can talk. Oh, maybe not. I can't unmute you. Can you unmute yourself? Oh, there it goes.
I always have to have mine up.
Do you pull it back like the way that you have it now?
Yeah.
Is that in a hair tie or is that just pinned back?
It's just a little guy.
A hair tie? Nice.
Yeah.
I really was under the impression I needed a lot longer hair in order to put in a ponytail, and I'm realizing that was a really silly excuse to not cut my hair for a long time.
Mom hair.
Exactly. Okay, guys. You're all going in my little cup over here. Some of you guys already got an Urban Halo. Then mix you up. Oh, I'm dropping you out of my little bowl. Okay. I'm not even gonna look. Let's see who we get. Desiree! Desiree, you get white Urban Halo heading your way, my dear. All right. Thank you guys all for jumping on with me tonight. If you guys have other questions, concerns, thoughts, please throw them my way. Facebook is usually the best way to get a hold of me, but if you guys have a question, I always encourage you to ask within the groups, because if you have the question, I'm sure somebody else does. Be sure you're tagging me in it if I don't see it right away, and we'll go from there. Sound good? Thank you all for jumping on with me. Peace out, everybody. Have a good night.